Hey everybody, Chris Kao here, Game Director on DC Universe Online.
And I'm Jens Anderson, the Viking on DC Universe Online.
The Viking?
The Viking, yes. I use my berserking powers to make game.
Is that your superhero name, sir?
Maybe.
All right. Well, let's get right into the questions on this edition of Inside the Studio.
Cool.
Ryan P. on Facebook asks, is there going to be something like first to defeat the boss, or that gets a character made into an actual DC comic character?
Interesting question. Well, there's a lot of things that go into that in terms of what characters will actually maybe appear in the comics one day.
Right.
We're in talks with that with DC Comics and things.
Jim's really big on it?
Yep, Jim Lee is really big on the idea. We'll see how that goes. Right now, no, but we have some really cool things that kind of tie into becoming a legend in the game.
And it's very similar in a way, right? It's just not jumping out onto the comic book pages. It's within the world of DC Universe Online.
We have these things called headlines. So let's say you actually do something where you gain this, headline. You've defeated this boss. He's got this master plan. You and your friends take him down.
Of course, because why would he be able to finish what he started?
Exactly. Otherwise, the world ends.
Feels like some of the meetings I'm in sometimes.
So anyway, you get this thing will pop up and it'll be a headline. You actually make the cover of the Daily Planet, which is
boom, and it spins right out and it tells you, right? Headline achieved. This is a actual boom, you did it moment, right?
You locked up. You captured Scarecrow, thwarted his plans. Bam! The big headline comes up. You're on the Gotham Times, and there's a picture.
And you're
of
on the
Scarecrow.
cover, right? And boom, what you did right there. And
Cool
this
stuff.
isn't just for heroes, right?
Nope, villains too.
Right. So I mean, you can do good or do bad, and you're going to show up and be famous. And that fame is going to tie further into your renown, which is how famous or infamous you are in the game. So you want to grab as many headlines as possible, just like a real superhero or supervillain, because they fill to your power in the game as well.
Yeah, part of our fantasy fulfillment in this game has been that the next legend is you. So we're
Right.
going to make that happen inside the game, as you get these headlines and you become famous.
Totally.
Marvin B. on Facebook asks, we know we're going to be playing in Gotham City and Metropolis. Are
Right.
we going to be traveling outside of those cities?
Yeah, for sure. Well, of course, superheroes and villains have to have a place to hang their hat. And where are you going to do that? In the Hall of Doom as a villain with the Society, or in the JLA Watchtower up in space. These are both massive areas on the scale of cities themselves, where players can go, hang out, just relax if they want to, run races up and over the walls and across the ceilings, fly through the architecture, or bank, or trade with each other, or get missions, talk to the actual characters themselves, engage there, show off how good or how great they are going to be. So there's lots of places to go. And beyond that, Gotham City and Metropolis themselves, these aren't just a bunch of buildings together, right? These are places that have Arkham Asylum in them, right? You have Star Labs facilities, you have the Daily Planet, and you're going to be going in and out of all of these places through all of these adventures. So it's not just this two cities, right? These are living characters, and there's places beyond for you to continue to explore. Plus, the best part is, being an MMO, we're going to keep adding places as we go.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's the DC Universe Online, and a universe is an awful lot to get out there, so we'll get it to you. Luke L. on Facebook asks, is it possible to have more than one power type? In other words, could you be fire and ice?
Okay, good question. Right now, what we focus on is giving you a really robust single power.
Right.
So you'll have the ability to sort of change different weapons and things like that, and how you use that power. But the actual power itself, fire, you will be a fire guy. Most characters in these comics pretty much have a singular kind of shtick that they do. So we're sort of focusing on that, and then we'll see in the long run. But right now, one power.
Right, and fire is a really big bucket, right? It's not just, I'm going to be able to barbecue stuff, or I'm going to be able to light stuff on fire. It's the control of fire, right? Creating wreaths and fields of fire to do what you want, creating constructs out of the fire, setting other things on fire, and having them do secondary effects, right? When we talk about fire, we're talking about mastery of fire, and that's what you're going to accomplish as you grow your hero or villain through the game.
Or like Earth might have stuff that has to do with seismic abilities, as opposed to also having stuff where you're creating these big Earth constructs and things like that.
So we look at a power type really as a theme, right? There's an awful lot that goes under there. You're not just lighting a single match, right? You can burn the world down if you want.
Kathy Y on Facebook asks, will we be able to make a choice between left-handed or right-handed characters?
Seriously?
That's what she writes here.
So you'll be able to go to the store, and then there'll be the left-handed store?
The leftorium.
That's right, there'll be the left-handed pistols and the left-handed swords?
Absolutely. Different stats on those as well.
Well, of course, you need to have, how left-handed am I, and is it plus 10 to left-handed or not? We're going to get a whole bunch of hate mail from left-handed people. And there's a bunch of artists in the other room who I think are all left-handed.
Well, you know what they say, that the villains actually are left-handed.
The heroes are right-handed?
Heroes will be right-handed and villains will be left-handed. So
I'm just saying,
you can make the choice by choosing whether
you know we're going to get a bunch of left-handed hate mail. You know that's what's going to happen.
Written in that weird left-handed scrawl.
Stop now, for Pete's sake. In all seriousness, this is a choice that sort of caught us off guard. We said, wow, well, has a game ever let anybody do that, or how important is it? In our game, really, it's about the powers you have and the weapons you use, left or right-handed, and it really isn't a choice that's important to the type of gameplay. We give you more of those bigger, more robust choices that are going to let you really push your superhero or villain past the pale. So, right now, sorry, no left or right-handed. Aaron B. on Facebook asks, how will character creation work?
Character creation is going to be really cool. I don't think that any MMO has ever offered this level of character creation before. We're going to let you mix and match pretty much everything about your character, right? Body type, gender, origin, magic meta tech, your power source, your superpower, your movement mode. We have classes in the game, but it's not the classes that define your access to anything about what your character is. The powers themselves will define it a little bit. Your power source will kind of deal with, some of the gameplay that you have, whether you're, like to be an up-close fighter or you like to be more of a range fighter or something like that, and how quick or slow or heavy your attacks are. All these things factor into those choices that you make, but you can mix and match them any way you want.
And they have real gameplay effects, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're choosing to have a one-handed sword or you're choosing to have a pole arm, that's going to have very different gameplay effects, different abilities, different attack styles. All of that plays through.
And you can pretty much make a character that mine might be exactly like yours in certain choices, but I have that one fundamental difference that either makes the gameplay very different or actually changes the kind of content that I'm going to be exposed to at various points of the game.
Right, and what you can do is just half of the picture, right? What you look like is the other half, and we have a host of choices there across all the board, all of the choices you could have as a superhero or as a supervillain. Now, what we wanted to do is give you important choices, choices that matter, right? Not how long your nose is, but how cool your fire is, how you fling it, and what it means to do it while you're flying or leaping or super speed.
And your handedness, right?
You're going to go back to the handedness.
All right, maybe not.
Is this do we get feature creep right here all of a sudden? Left, right, who knows? We're going to get the hate mail. Thanks, man.
No problem. That's what I'm here for. Peter C. on Facebook asks, what level do you have to be in order to fly?
Well, we thought about this a long time. We had whiteboard meetings all day long. Jens and I were just in a fit of fury, back and forth, back and forth. And then we realized we want to fly right away.
Level 1.
Level 1. Who doesn't want to fly right away? I mean, it's a superhero game, right? That'd be like playing a driving game and not being able to get into your car until later on. Come on, what game does that? This is about being in the DC universe and about making a hero or villain who is like your favorite hero or villain. And so because of that, we have to give you the basis. Now, of course, that means there's room to grow. You're going to be able to fly and swoop and maneuver, but you'll be able to gain other traits that let you do that even better or in more interesting ways. So yes, we start you way off at the top, but we even add beyond that in the clouds. So, great question, but we all love flying. And by the way, it's a lot of fun.
Super speed and acrobats too.
Yeah, super speed and acrobats can do it.
Any movement mode.
Right away,
Level
boom,
1.
Run up the walls. We don't keep that from you.
Yeah, and we're not, and also keep in mind too, you're really flying at level 1. You're not hovering, you're not then gliding, and then you finally get to fly. You are flying, right? Full on flying. I think that's it for us, right?
All right, well, thanks again for joining us on Inside the Studio for DC Universe Online. Keep sending your questions to us, and we'll keep answering them.
Sony.